Hi everybody, welcome. So now that we have concluded the 10 years of Moon Mahadasha, we progress into the Mars Mahadasha. So if you recall, the general themes of the Moon Mahadasha were processing of your emotional body, isn't it? How you process that, how well you did that will show up in the Mars Mahadasha. Now, Mars Mahadasha is for a period of 7 years, and let's just briefly see who gets the Mars Mahadasha in their life. 20 to 36 years, and we are considering, as you can see by now, if you have gone through the other ones, I encourage you to see every Mahadasha. Okay, so we are considering the prime years, 20 to 50 years of age group. Who gets the Mahadasha of Mars in their life? It's first of all the Venus-ruled Nakshatras. That means if the natal chart has Moon in Bharani, Purva, Phalguni and Purvashada, the Venus-ruled Nakshatras, you will get it between 20 to 36 years of age. If you get it next one is the Ketu Nakshatras, already interrupting. Ketu always interrupts. Ashwini, Magha and Moola Nakshatras. So they will get it between the age of 36 to 43. Another group which will get the Mars-ruled Nakshatra is the Mercury-ruled Nakshatras, Ashlesha, Jyeshtha and Revati Nakshatras. They will get it between 43 and 50 years of age. Okay. Now let's see the basic themes of this nakshatra, so to speak. So this period is underlying themes are courage, action, conflict or resolution thereof, and assertion. Mars is very, very assertive. So this period of life, after you finish the Moon Dasha of emotional recalibration, hopefully nicely, you come to the Mars Mahadasha, which is all about action. Mars is, first of all, a very logical planet. It has got goals, it works with targets, it says, tell me what to do and where to take action. It is not interested in emotion, it is not interested in any of the others airy-fairy kind of thinking. Mars is very action-oriented. So the best thing for you to do if you are having Mars Mahadasha is see where you can take action. Well, where does it start? First of all, Mars Mahadasha will activate the Mars wherever it is placed in your chart. Also other planets and points aspecting it. Also other planets conjuncting Mars in that house. So that house theme will become active immediately. The element is one of fire. Okay, before that, the Mars Mahadasha will also in these 7 years cycle through the 3 Mars-ruled nakshatras, starting from Mrigashira Nakshatra, going to Chitra Nakshatra, and then finally at Dhanishta Nakshatra. If you remember these nakshatras from my nakshatra playlist, you will see that they have padas split. 2 come in air sign, 2 come in earth signs. So you got to be careful of how you evaluate this in the Tribhagi system. The element is one of fire. Okay, so there's a lot of Pitta energy. So the fire energy is similar to Sun Mahadasha, I would say. They are Kshatriya planets, Sun and Mars. So they are action oriented. The guna for Mars, however, is Tamas as contrast to Sun, which was Sattva. So here, tamas means everything related to physical action taken in the physical realm. That's what Mars is interested in. Caste is a warrior class. So all the ones who are coming into the prime of this Mars Nakshatras might choose careers related to medical field, related to law enforcement, police, military and so on. The chakra is one of root. It's the basic security level, how you take action in this world. Root chakra is governing your finances, your sense of security. Mainly the security is what comes to me right now. Mars is a sense of security in the world. Do you feel secure? Or are you always insecure, looking for the next danger that comes your way? Mars is always alert. It is always guarding. It is the soldier in the border of the land. Think of it that way. in terms of propensity of Mars is always who is the next enemy, always alert. So it's like you might say always on in terms of hormones also, isn't it? Cortisol. So you got to take care of cortisol levels during Mars Mahadasha. Okay, you might be super alert all the time, looking out for danger, isn't it? The contrast of safety. The psychology is one of willpower, confrontation, and drive. See, if you're always on a cortisol high, you will need that willpower. You will need that sense of confrontation, and you will need that sense of drive. That's what is triggered in the Mars Mahadasha. The life themes are of physical assertion, career breakthroughs, survival instinct. You'll have themes of real estate because Mars is responsible for the land. You might change your land, by the way. Mars Mahadasha will trigger the change of place where you reside. You might get into engineering. All engineers have some dominant Mars in their chart. Mars, Ketu, Rahu, for example, and Saturn. These malefics are responsible for engineering because malefics essentially mean that it is triggering the non-jiva aspects, the things aspects. That's what essentially malefics mean. And it might trigger competition in this 7 years. You might be heavily competing against your, competition. The Antardasha is of a period of 13 to 20 months, starting from Mars to Rahu, then goes to Mars, Jupiter, and so on. So essentially in Mars Mahadasha, you might have issues relating to real estate. You might buy a real estate. You might construct a real estate if Saturn is also placed with it. Usually these builders, so-called corrupt builders these days, it's a whole mafia, isn't it, in India? They have a dominant Mars and Saturn playing. It's construction and it's relating to the land. But in Mars Mahadasha, you might actually construct a house of your own. It can happen. You might choose the physical career path because Mars is responsible for careers. Everything what you call your career has to do with selection of what you want to do in this world. It's action, isn't it? That might get triggered during the Mars Mahadasha because it comes in the prime. I already spoke of the nakshatras that will be triggered by this. So heavy action orientation, heavy outward going, lots of cortisol level, adrenaline level going on in the body. So bodily speaking, you got to calm the system down. You might have a lot of pitta issues, a lot of heat issues in Mars because Mars is extreme heat that cannot be controlled. You got to take something like ashwagandha or something, it calms the cortisol levels in your system. Very, very important to remember during Mars Mahadasha. Might be triggered. Little events you are always looking as on high alert, high adrenaline, high cortisol. That's Mars Mahadasha. Wherever Mars is sitting in your chart, look at that area of life, and wherever Mars fourth aspect is, eighth aspect is, in addition to seventh aspect, all those will be triggered. So you got to be careful of your health during this period. Definitely, most definitely. Issues of the blood. Mars is issues of the blood, issues of the muscle. Important to take care of that, especially if Rahu is aspecting your Mars. Might create excessive stuff in the blood. I don't want to name that here. But take care of Mars Mahadasha. It is very strong. It is high energy Mahadasha, so to speak, among all the rest. Lots of physical thing to take care of. And how is Mars calmed by? You cannot calm Mars in any way but to take action. You cannot calm Mars in any way but to take logical targets. Mars only works on targets. It does not know anything about emotional airy-fairy business. Okay, Mars does not know that. It's soldier. You can't teach the soldier on a battlefield to sit and evaluate your emotions or some psychological BS. You have to tell him, where do I shoot? That's Mars Mahadasha. Who do I have to kill, or what is it for me to do today? That's Mars Mahadasha. Show me the targets and I will go and achieve them. So take care of this Mars by converting your drive, your cortisol and adrenaline as action points. Just make action list for every single day and carry it out selflessly. Mars is selfless. Think of Hanuman. Everything you want to understand about Mars as selfless action, as the badass that can be, you look at the life history of Lord Hanuman. He is the highest embodiment of Mars. And if you want to calm the system down, well, do Hanuman Chalisa or any one of the Hanuman Mahamantras. You can tune in with him. Go to him regularly every Tuesday perhaps. And then ask for guidance. Ask for the target which you need to achieve. Okay? I will see you in the next. Take care. Be safe.